With her supportive owners, Tink leads a charmed life. And it's her long-term relationship with a three-legged cat named Henry that puts the extra spring in her step.
They absolutely adore each other.
Henry and Tink have been friends for 6 years now. But because Henry lives about 20 miles away from Tink, Tink and her owners make the trek regularly to ensure the two animals get adequate playtime together.
When Tink comes over, Tink's wildly excited. Sometimes she just can't control herself. She just immediately runs to every room to find Henry. In this relationship, the girl always comes to the boy's house.
Tink would go all over the house looking for Henry. And then when Henry would figure out that Tink was running around, and she would jump up and look at him up on the chair, or he'd get on the counter. And so it was kind of a little game that they had. You know, they certainly entertained us. We'd sit around and laugh at them, wondered what we did before the cat and the dog. You know, what we talked about before them.
Henry is a gray mackerel tabby characterized by the M-shaped mark on his forehead. Thought to have been domesticated by the Egyptians 4,000 years ago, it is believed that cats are the most popular pets in the world. Unlike his lady friend Tink, Henry was born with all four paws. But right before he was adopted into Kathy's home, his fate would change after a fire 60 miles away from San Diego.
When we first met Henry, he had 4 paws. But after the worst fire in California history, we took him to the vet, and he said, the good news is he's a healthy 4-year-old kitty. The bad news is he needs an amputation or he won't live.
Unsure of how he would react to only having 3 legs instead of 4, Kathy couldn't believe how quickly her new cat was able to adjust.
He immediately functioned on 3 legs. He very quickly could run and jump and do everything he could on 4 legs on 3 legs.
Henry's story of perseverance inspired Kathy so much that she decided to write letters to her friends about him and his journey.
I wrote a letter to 20 of our friends in Henry's voice. And to my surprise, people started to answer Henry.
The brave cat's popularity swiftly began to snowball.
I've answered almost 70,000 letters to Henry from people all over the world and people with all sorts of challenges. And Henry's sort of their icon of resilience and tolerance and courage.
Henry's growing fame led Kathy to write books about him, start a website, and even lecture at schools, which is what brought Tink to him in the first place.
I went to the lecture, and afterwards went up to Kathy.
She brought this darling picture of this 5-pound little 2-legged dachshund.
The next night we went to dinner and took Tink with us.
Come on, where's Henry?
Henry came out, and he just nuzzled and sniffed her, and she sniffed back. And
before we knew it, they were laying in this nice, fluffy bed together.
What's so lovely about Henry and Tink is that they both have these physical challenges, but that doesn't stand in the way of their friendship.
Their physical challenges may explain why these two get along so well.
With Tink and Henry, the very fact that they're slowed down by their physical difficulties might well mean that they can just have the friendship and there's little risk of the predator chase getting involved.
What's interesting is human beings have made up this phrase, they fight like cats and dogs. Nobody sent the memo to Henry and Tink.
Kathy, Belinda, and Linda were dumbfounded at this new and seemingly instant bond.
every time we would go over there, Tink just got so excited when we'd pull in the driveway because she knew it was Henry's house. And then when she would come in on her wheel, she just wheeled all around the house looking for him.
I think when they found out that they could be close with each other, that was the special moment. And since then, they sometimes play, they sometimes cuddle. They just seem to like each other a lot.
Because these two live apart, Henry and Tink don't get to be together all the time. And as their owners lead busy lives, visits together require lots of planning ahead.
Well, Henry has to have scheduled play dates with a dog because they live 20 miles apart. In the beginning, they saw each other weekly. And as we've gotten busy, sometimes it's a month.
Can the friendship stand the test of time? Or will the bond between Henry and Tink go to the dogs? In San Diego, California, this two-legged wonder dog has found a soulmate in a three-legged cat. Since these two live 20 miles apart, often weeks pass by before they can see each other again. But their owners believe this relationship will stand the test of time.
No matter how long it is, I know they remember each other because if it's even 2 months, they're always glad to see each other.
As long as we can take Tink over there, I know they will be friends.
Whether they know it or not, Henry and Tink have moved their owners to teach others about the importance of tolerance.
Had no idea that it would affect so many people.
We really gained an appreciation for what happens when you don't move through the world with prejudice.
Despite their differences, this cat and dog do anything but fight. And if that's wrong, who would want to be right?
I think they're forever friends. They don't see their differences. They just like each other. They're safe with each other. That's the way friends should be.